What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Zeal Cigar review, and today we're going to talk about reasons you should probably, maybe you have better reasons than I do, but reasons why you should maybe pull that cigar out of the humidor you've been waiting for a special occasion on. So today, the 5 reasons or 5 special occasions I feel you should take out that special occasion cigar and smoke it. All next on the Zeal Cigar Review. I feel like just like cigars, special occasions can be very subjective, right? Like what's a special occasion to me might not be a special occasion to you. Like birthdays to me in some aspects aren't necessarily big occasions. There's reasons for that, and it's partially just the way that we grew up. The other side of that, other holidays like Christmas and things like that were a big deal. So I didn't bring any of my reserved for special occasion cigars from home. Those are obviously still stashed. Telling you guys about special occasions is not a special occasion enough. Sorry, guys. But a cigar that will always have a special place in my heart as a cigar that could be smoked for special occasions for me is the Irish Hawk. This is the first cigar that I fell in love with when I started coming to Zeal Cigars. It's the first cigar I bought a full bundle of. I'll never forget when I did that. My wife goes, "You're gonna smoke 25 of the same cigars?" Yes, I am. I really like this cigar, and I smoked all of them. No problem. Trust me. So yeah, this cigar for me is always gonna have a special place in my heart, especially since when I was first asked when I came through the door by a big burly dude with a crooked beard, and he said, "Yo, dude, what do you like to smoke?" And I talked about a barber pole, and this was kind of what I was led to. So today we're gonna talk about the 5 reasons or 5 special occasions that you might want to pull out those cigars to smoke, and this Irish Hawk. But you know what we got to do in order to figure out what this cigar tastes like. We gotta
cut, light, and
smoke. Now today for the cut, light, and smoke, I used a new lighter from Zyphy that was sent to me. I just did a short on it on YouTube. Little cigar holder on top, nice triple flame, nice big punch on the bottom, and it also unscrews for another cigar rest, and it also comes with the poker / nub tool in the bottom as well. So the number 1 special occasion that I would say that you should pull out a special occasion cigar for would be the holidays. The holidays is always a good reason to smoke a special occasion cigar, especially if you have more than one and you can share it with somebody. For me, there's nothing better than like smoking a cigar on New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, right? That was a tradition that me and the best man from my wedding, his name is Mike. Shout out Mike, you probably aren't watching these, jerk. But me and Mike, that was our tradition, was we would sit outside on my stoop in Medina, Ohio, and we would bring in the new year with a stogie. And I'll never forget the year that we smoked a Christoph, and my dude was sick. He was laying down on his side, head in the flower bed, still smoking it, bottle of Gatorade. He always had to have Gatorade with his cigar, only Gatorade. And he was just laying in the flower bed, man, blowing chunks, just like still smoking it though. Like, I'll never forget it. That was one of the last New Year's we actually shared together. So holidays, man, that's always gonna be a special occasion reason to smoke a cigar for me. So holidays for me, even though they happen very frequently, they are still, I would say, special occasions, because it's a perfect example of what we at Zeal Cigars love and preach about when it comes to cigars. Is we love what they do. Not necessarily that it's a cigar, but we love the fact that it brings a community. It brings, thoughtfulness. It brings curiosity about cigars and other conversation, right? So we love what cigars do. And there's nothing better than sitting down in a holiday and sparking up a conversation with a family member, especially for me, that they're like, "What are you doing in the cigar industry? You just sit in front of a camera and smoke cigars? Is that really what you do?" And then I'm like, let's sit down and talk about it, and we'll smoke a cigar and, go through it. So holidays, number 1. One of the reasons I absolutely love this Irish Hawk is it is so smooth, creamy, little bit of nuttiness, and you get this grassy note from the Candela. It's just a super pleasant cigar that continuously changes, but not too much to the point of like, you're like, okay, this is overwhelming, right? It's very good. And again, the last video I made of the Irish Hulk was about it being my my like perfect golf round stick. I think that's also kind of a special occasion, you know, a golf round if it's a good one. So the number 2 special occasion that I would say I would smoke a cigar for is marriage, man. Mostly just because you're stressed out, right? No, I'm just kidding. Maybe a little bit. But I would say marriage is a good reason, right? So another thing you're going to hear me talk about as I go through this list is reflection. Sitting down after a long day, taking pictures, eating dinner, entertaining however many guests you brought to your wedding, making sure everything goes right, running around like a madman, making sure your wife's happy. Have I got the picture yet? You go sit down, maybe with a couple of your groomsmen, maybe your dad, maybe your father-in-law, and you just sit back and smoke a cigar and reflect, man. You reflect on how your life took you to that point with your wife and how you guys ended up getting married, and kind of look a little bit into the future with that smoke that's coming out of the cigar as well, you know what I mean? So I would say for me, marriage would be another huge special occasion that I would say, if you got a cigar sitting around in your humidor, that would be a good reason to smoke it. Maybe it's even somebody else getting married, right? Maybe it's like one of your kids or your grandkids, or you know, your brother, somebody that's really important to you getting married. That'd be another good reason to smoke a cigar. So I would say like a wedding, right? Number 3, ironically, I didn't put them in this order, but this is kind of the order that they would go in. Number 3 would be having a kid. And that could go for, you know, grandkids, your first kid, your second kid, your first boy, your first girl, you know, whatever, right? And again, sitting down and smoking that cigar comes back to that reflection again, right? How did you get to that point? What's coming up in the future? You're also probably stressed out. There's a kid on the way. Life's changing, right? Your wife's going to be angry at you for a while. So there are, you know, there's a lot of really good reasons having a kid is a cool reason to smoke a cigar. And a lot of people have some really cool ideas with that. Like, I know people that have bought a box of cigars. Maybe it's one of their favorites. Maybe it's one that it's rare. Maybe it's a limited edition for that specific year that the kid was born. They'll smoke one when the kid was born, put the box away, or a couple of the cigars away if you can avoid smoking the whole box, right? And then when the kid turns 21 or whenever, right, you break out that box and it's been aged their whole life. I also know a couple guys that have done that with a bourbon bottle. They'll buy a bottle of bourbon the day that the kid was born, something that was produced that year, and they will let it age in a closet, stashed away for 21 years, and then they'll crack that open with their kid and share it, right? Their son. That's a super cool experience. So I would say a kid, definitely, or grandkids, definitely a good reason, a special occasion to whip out one of those cigars you've been sitting on in your humidor that you don't want to pull out. Number 4, I originally wrote something like generic, like retirement, right? Like I'm ever going to be able to freaking retire. Anybody in my generation is going to be able to retire, right? So I kind of thought about it, and I was like, I would say more like a life accomplishment, right? There's a lot of different things that could be under the category of a life accomplishment for somebody, right? It could be something small like getting a pilot's license, buying a new car, getting your first house, getting through military boot camp, you know, some other kind of life goal you set for yourself. Anytime you get through one of those big accomplishments, definitely a reason to smoke a cigar, even a reason to pull out a special occasion cigar. For me, I had a stash of cigars in college that I didn't really smoke that often, just because it's kind of weird to find somewhere to smoke a cigar in college sometimes, because everybody's smoking a lot of other stuff. And when my track team won the conference championship and our 4x1 team won the conference championship, we beat teams like Mount Union, who usually breed like NFL players and Olympic style sprinters, right? That was a big accomplishment for us. That was worthy of a cigar, man. I remember sitting outside one of the senior houses out in the garage, with the garage door open, just sitting there smoking a cigar, and one of the guys came out. His name was Julius, and he was like, "Man, you smoking a cigar?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." And he was like, I gotta have one with you, man. This is worthy of a cigar." So, you know, some sort of accomplishment, life goal, Those are always good reasons to smoke a cigar. The last one's kind of a newer one for me. Remembrance is going to be a new one for me. And oddly enough for me, that's going to come in a lot of different ways. Certain days of the year, you know, specifically one coming up here soon in July. You know, there's going to be places even that myself and I know other people will go and smoke cigars, and there's what do? You know? I'm gonna step away for a second, obviously needed. Smoke this down a little bit. I'll tell you about the end of the Irish Hulk and we'll finish this up. So number 5 is gonna be Remembrance, right? I think there's probably not a better reason to sit back, smoke a cigar, and reflect than to remember, you know, whatever it is you need to remember, whether it's loved ones, whether it's events, whether it's, you know, whatever you gotta remember. That would be a good one. This Irish Hulk, guys, is, man, it's super smooth, nutty, little bit of grass, very good cigar. I enjoy it thoroughly. Again, always gonna be a cigar that's gonna have some nostalgia and some remembrance for me. So with that, guys, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get back to work. And if you guys have ever tried the Irish Hulk, please put a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about it. If you haven't tried the Irish Hulk, you should. It's a really good cigar. Thoroughly enjoy it. And with that, guys, I'm out of here like last year. Peace.